Welcome to the Claremont House Bed and Breakfast Kitchen. I'm Holly, and today I'd like to share with you a really special dessert. Raspberry cream cheese dessert omelet. So all you need to do this wonderful recipe, you need 8 eggs, because we're going to make 4 omelets. And we're going to use 2 eggs about per omelet. You need some nice fresh raspberries, 4 tablespoons of butter, some powdered sugar, 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of raspberry preserves, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 vanilla bean, a lemon for zesting. I'm going to go ahead and get started here with my cream cheese. I've had it out for a little bit just to let it get to room temperature, but if you don't have that chance, you can always cheat a little bit by putting it in the microwave. You only want to put it in the microwave for a few seconds at a time, but I'm just going to start mashing this up with a fork just to get it all soft. Excellent. Now, I'll grab my wonderful bright raspberry preserves and just going to go ahead and pour those right in there. This will give this cream cheese mixture a really bright color and some sweet flavoring. This is going to be the filling for your omelet. You've probably made omelets before and you think of salt, pepper, and cheese. Well, this is cheese, but in place of the salt and pepper, we're going to be using vanilla seeds, some powdered sugar, and cinnamon. That in good. Mix, mix, mix. Oh, it's a lovely pink color. See those raspberry chunks? Oh, it's really pretty. And it smells really nice. Beautiful. Okay. Now, with the powdered sugar, you can really just do a little bit if you don't have a big sweet tooth, or you can go a lot. I tend to go for about 1 tablespoon of powdered sugar. Of course, let's not forget our wonderful cinnamon. Now, cinnamon is very, very good for you. Blended that up. And we're going to switch over to our eggs. Like I said, 8 eggs, and you can get any type of eggs that you want. I'm going to go ahead and put these into a liquid measuring cup because I want to make 4 omelets. And ideally, you could just do 2 eggs at a time, but we're going to put some flavoring in these eggs, and we want that flavoring to get into all of the eggs. So we're just going to go right ahead and start cracking our eggs. What I love about these omelets is they're filling, but it's just a nice, light end to a really good meal. All right, so we've got 8 eggs in here. Whisk up these eggs, beat them up just a little bit. If you like a fluffier omelet, then you can certainly whisk them more. I'm a little bit of a minimalist with my eggs. I like to just beat them up until I get them all nice and mixed together, the yolks and the whites. This is a really exciting part. This is where we get to the vanilla bean. You've got some really great things. You have the seeds inside and you have the pod as well. And today we're going to manage to use both. One of my favorite things about the vanilla bean is that it actually comes from an orchid. Wouldn't believe that something so gorgeous could create something so delicious that could be used in every type of dessert imaginable. And I'll tell you, vanilla goes really well with your Philadelphia cream cheese. So this orchid is obviously not the orchid that produces vanilla pods. I would be really excited if I had a farm full of these orchids because vanilla is the 2nd most expensive spice, only second to saffron. So now I'm going to cut off about a 2-inch piece of this vanilla bean. And I'll put the rest back in my glass spice jar. And now we're going to split this open ever so gently. And what I want to do here is put my seeds, these little tiny beautiful black seeds, into the eggs. You can see those gorgeous little beans going in there. And this smells just so good. I mean, you might think that vanilla smells good when it's a vanilla extract, but the vanilla seeds are just amazing. It's a whole nother level. Try to get these seeds in there. Like I said, this is a very expensive spice, so you want to try to capture as much of that spice as you can. I also like to add just a little bit of this powdered sugar to my egg mixture, which gave it a little bit of sweetness as well, besides the vanilla. Now, I want to take a minute and zest some lemon into the raspberry filling. This just gives it a little kick. You can see that really beautiful bright yellow going into that sweet pink filling. And there's just something about combining your flavors, contrasting flavors, really go well together. Makes the sweet sweeter somehow. Oh, that smells really good. Fresh lemon. Oh, it's just so nice and clean. And lemon and raspberries, I don't care what you're making, lemon and raspberries are just a great pair. A really nice match. Anytime you have a recipe that calls for raspberries, you can add a little lemon and it really gives that raspberry a nice pop. Okay. Oh, really good. This is making me incredibly hungry. So I told you that you could use this little vanilla pod for more flavoring, because there's a lot of flavoring in this. You don't want to throw this out. You paid good money for this wonderful little pod. I don't know if you can see it well on the background of my hand. To have a really nice cup of coffee, I highly recommend buying your beans as whole beans and grinding them right before you're going to use them. A little bit of coffee in there. Okay. Then you just take that bean pod and you're going to just rip it up a little bit just for fun. Just put it right on top, just like that. And that hot water going through there is going to give it nice flavor. And I will tell you, you can save this bean and you can use it a few times because there's a lot of flavor packed into that pod. Don't use your coffee grounds again, but you can use your vanilla bean pod again. Just turn that on and we're going to let that brew while we're making our omelets. So when our 4 omelets are ready, we'll have coffee and we can serve dessert in true style. I will say this also works well with tea. If you're not a coffee person and you want to add a nice, true, natural vanilla flavor to your tea, you can just steep the vanilla bean pod in your hot water with your tea. It's really fantastic. I highly recommend it. I like to use a small omelet pan. Since this is dessert and you've already had a nice filling meal, this is just to cap it off. So you can definitely go bigger, like I said before. Have a bigger pan, just cut it in half, and one big omelet will feed 2 people. Since I'm going to range at about medium low, so if you were looking at the clock, not quite noon, not quite 9, somewhere between 10 and 11. You don't want it to get too hot that it cooks so fast you can't put the filling in. So we start by putting our tablespoon of butter into the pan. If you're not a big fan of butter, then go with a little less. You want it to heat up and bubble like that, but you don't want it to get so hot that it smokes. You want to let that melt nice and even. And then we'll grab some of our egg mixture. You want to use a little less than a half a cup of mixture. I find using the half a cup is quite helpful. And as this starts to cook, that beautiful dark yellow will turn into a nice white around the edges. And we're just going to put a little filling across the center. You don't want to overstuff it, but you can put a little bit in there. I like to do about 5 fresh raspberries. That looks nice. Grab your spatula. Do a nice little tri-fold. If you need to, you can do it just in half. There we go. That looks good. Really nice. It's that beautiful light yellow. You can see just hints of red peeking through. That's your nice fresh raspberry. This is beautiful. I'm really pleased with this omelet. And it does take a little practice if you haven't done it lately. You can see I've got 3 omelets here and that one's my favorite. Grab a little bit. And it smells really nice. Fresh eggs sweetened with sugar and cinnamon and vanilla. That filling has the cinnamon in it, and the raspberries with little lemon zest, and of course, beautiful cream cheese. You can really taste that vanilla in those eggs. Beautiful, beautiful dessert. Make sure I get some of this wonderful cream cheese filling. It's so good.